Welcome to Seriously Speaking. Today, we are dedicating it to children, education, and reading, literature for children. Now, why are we doing this? Because on the 16th of June, all of Africa marked International Day of the African Child. And this day was inspired by the Soweto uprising in 1976, where children were protesting in Soweto, protesting the poor quality of education that they were getting. The most famous of the people that died at that time was Hector Peterson. There's a whole museum in his honor somewhere in Soweto in South Africa. Now, that's not what we're about here. Today, we are showing you that even in these times, when it appears like children are focused on the digital world, you'll ask me what kind of children. However, I'll show you today that in Nigeria, we have talented children who are putting their talents to use in the literary world, and there are people who are working to ensure that it becomes a reality. This is our edition celebrating the Day of the African Child. We'll be back in a short while. I'm going to be on set today with 4 different people. One, a mother and a daughter. The other one, a publisher and a writer. They are all mothers, fathers in their own right. But the star of the day is a young girl who's going to turn 10, 2 days from when this show is aired. So I'll start by wishing you, first of all, Osayiware Omonua Emokaro. I'm calling you your mommy's first name. Osayiware, welcome to Seriously Speaking.
Thank you.
Can I tell you happy birthday in advance? Let's tell her happy birthday together. Happy birthday, Osayiware. You are going to be 10 and you're already an author. So let me see the book that you wrote. Osayiware is the second child of Omonua Emokaro. Now, it's not by accident that they are both Beninese, so please, pardon me. We are kind of special, aren't we?
We are.
Omonua is the mother of Osayiware. Now, Omonua has 3 other children, and she believes they are very talented. But in this one, she sees something she could do something about immediately, right? True. Tell me about how the journey to The Expensive Purse and Other Stories came about. Now, this is a small book, but it's fantastic. Yes. There are 3 stories in it.
Yes. Well, she's turning 10 right now, but she wrote that book when she was 7.
Oh, look at it. And she's smiling.
You know, and if you look at it, that's been how many years? Almost 3 years.
That's right.
Of doing nothing. You know, when I noticed her writing skills, I remember that I couldn't finish my own book.
You started
I started writing a book when I was in secondary school, but I couldn't finish. I was mocked, they laughed at me and said, oh, you want to be an author? Oh, and they laughed, and so I abandoned it. But when I saw it in my child, I said, no, I won't let history repeat itself. And what did I do? I encouraged her and asked her to go ahead and write the book, that if she could finish it, if she could write the stories, I'll put them together and publish the book for her. And she did. She took the challenge and did write those stories. She had a number of them, so just let me have the ones you finished. And she says, I have more interesting ones to put out there. I said, no, let's have what you have already. And she gave me these 3, and I sent it to the editor. They edited the book, and my daughter won't take the editing. She says, no, they changed my story.
So what did they do with the editing?
They took out some words, they changed some names, they did some things to it. That was when I really took her seriously. She cried and said, I won't take this.
So what's your story? The Expensive Purse, for example. Why did you write that story?
I wrote it because I loved reading and I also loved writing. So I thought about the others that also loved reading. Mm-hmm. So if I could write stories for those who love reading, and they will love my books too.
So what's The Expensive Purse about? It was about going to a store. Is there a moral behind it? Do you sit down and say, okay, I want people to learn this?
The moral is actually that you shouldn't take vengeance on things you know are actually wrong. Because in the book, Amy Cracker and her husband, they were friends with Eric Dahlia. Mm-hmm. So her husband, Justin, he actually stole. He committed a crime. Mm-hmm. And he asked Eric to cover up for him, but Eric said no, he won't. And he handed Justin over to the police. Mm-hmm. And he got arrested. There he died. Amy knew what happened, but she thought it was Eric that killed him.
Let's not tell the whole story, but can you imagine a 7-year-old mind developing a plot that is so... where do you think you got this from?
I can't remember.
But you know, your mommy said when she was in secondary school, that secondary school, they used to laugh at her. Do you want to be an author? Do you find that kind of thing happening in school, you know, in your school when you were growing, I mean, right now?
No.
Not at all. No. So you talk about her school also being encouraging.
Yes. The school did a lot. They make them read. They really make them read. In fact, this book actually came out, the first draft came out when the school organized a book fair. Her teacher, Miss Damite, and her principal at the time, Miss Elsie, insisted, because they knew she writes. And they said, please, can we have her book? We're having a book fair in the school, so we want children to put together what they have written. That was when we first brought out the draft, and then...
So is this a commercial venture for you, putting this book together?
Oh, no, by far. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. I'm an Igbo woman, married to a Benin man.
Yeah, so yes, woman, I will drive you.
So there's that Igbo in me that wants to commercialize things. But in this instance, it is not, because I realized that this is her dream. I believe that every child comes to the world with what they will eat, with what they will use to survive. They come loaded with talent to solve a problem. But sometimes we do not follow through with that talent. We do not do anything about it. And I didn't want that to happen to this child of mine or any other of my children.
Well, you're doing something about it because you have some NGO that you're setting up to try to encourage people, to encourage their children. Yes. I would have to say thank you, but we keep you here and have a conversation with adults who are working in this area. And Osaiwari, I wish you well. And tell your friends that when you become do you want to be a published author, bigger author in future?
Yes.
Is that what you're going to do? You're going to be a writer?
Yes.
Which writers do you particularly like? Nigerian writers? Any Nigerian writers?
She doesn't do Nigerian books.
You have to start doing Nigerian books, so otherwise you won't read your own, no?
They're not readily available once they're really...
okay, I will gift you with some of the published work, because we have a publisher coming to the house and we're going to give you some of the works, at least of Chimamanda Adichie. And
guess what? For her 10th birthday, when we asked her what she wanted, she wanted loads of books.
Oh, good. So we're going to gift her some books. I'm sure he will give you for free as a birthday present. Thank you very much for being on the show. I must take a break so I can have a conversation around living the dream of being a writer and if there's a market in it for children's literature. We'll be right back.